Let's jump right into this, shall we? Want to do a quick comparison between the XD9 subcompact and the Glock 27. So these aren't really apples to apples, this being a 40 caliber and this being a 9mm, but we're going to pretend that this is the Glock 26. And for all intensive purposes, there are very few differences between the 27 and the 26 as far as weight, length, and that kind of goes. They're very similar. So let's get started. A lot of people might be looking at these two guns. They're both subcompact guns, and which one should I buy and which is going to carry the best? To answer that question, you answer this question for me. What is better, Chevy or Ford? Now, half of you out there will probably say Ford, the other half will probably say Chevy. So this is not going to answer that question. It comes down to you and what you prefer. Let's start with weight. There is quite a bit of difference in weight between these two. So again, the XD here is weighing in at 27 ounces. I've said this in another video, but the XD series of guns in their class, whatever class they may be in, tend to be a little bit heavier than the competition. That may or may not affect your decision. The Glock 27 and 26 are both 19.75 ounces. So we're pushing about the 20 ounce mark. So you're looking at a difference between 7 ounces between the two. Capacity. Capacity with these two guns, as they come in their box, this is going to win out because it comes with a 10 flush fitting mag, and in some cases I think newer ones are coming with a 13, and an extended mag of 16. So you're getting, at least when I bought this one, you're getting 26, 27 if you carry one in the pipe. Whereas the Glock 27 carries 9 and the 26 carries 10. So we'll say if this was the 26, we're looking at 10 and 10 versus your 10 and 16. So your XD is going to win out there. Now, from what I've been told, these mags will be interchangeable with other XDs. Not XDMs, but with other XDs of the same caliber, which you're kind of seeing here. As this comes with this spacer here in the bottom, this works fantastic. Now, as you also know, if you have a same caliber Glock, the mags will work in there also. The nice thing too about the Glocks is the mags from the, I know for sure at least, the second, third, and fourth gen will all work here. The one thing that I have done is I've used my 23 mags in this 27, and I've put spacers on, and none of them match up to what this feels like. I just can't get it to work. These are aftermarket spacers, where this one is not aftermarket. This comes from Springfield. Sights on these guns, again, we're going to have to use our imagination a little bit here. With the XD, you get your standard white 3-dot sight, and with your Glock, what you normally get is a white front dot, and then in the back, it's part of that, what I call is a football sight, and it's a U, down, over, and up. It works. I prefer the 3-dot sight myself. This one actually are aftermarket. They're night sights that I put on. You can kind of take a look at them here too. Well, it's not a good comparison again because these are aftermarket. Overall length on these, the XD is 6.25 and the Glock is 6.49. Barrel length on the Glock is 3.42 while the XD is 3 inches. So our Glock barrel is going to be just a hair longer. Again, barrel typically doesn't mean that much to me, barrel length as far as concealment goes, because I typically wear inside the waistband, and you can hide a big barrel down there. It's not an issue. If you're carrying outside the waistband, yes, it could be a little bit more of an issue. I won't belabor that. I talked about that in another video. So you can see the length are just a bit different. Width, pretty close. Not much difference there in width. Now, one critical factor, again, sorry, I hope I don't sound like a broken record here. I talked about this in the comparison of the XD versus the XDS. But one of the critical differences in concealment is going to be your grip area, the butt of your grip. And you can see that between these two, the XD and the Glock 27, you're going to have a little more to contend with on the XD versus the Glock 27. Now, for concealment, oh, you may not like that. Maybe for shooting, you can see I can get 2 solid fingers there, where the XD, I can get 2 fingers, and if I squeeze, I can kind of get my pinky on there, and just with the flush fitting magazines. So this has got a little fuller grip that, I don't know, you might like that, you may not like that. Some of the safety features on these guns are similar in that the triggers have the safety, if you want to call that, on the triggers there that you see. So you have to depress this piece right here in order to get the trigger to pull. Likewise on the Glock, these have been safety checked. You can see there the Glock has that as well. Now the Glock has some other internal safety features going on, but we're going to stick mainly with what you can see outside, and that is the XD has a grip safety, the Glock does not. The XD has a loaded chamber indicator, the Glock does not. Now, for some people, the Glock doesn't have enough safety features. For other people, they absolutely detest a grip safety. To be honest with you, it's not a showstopper for me. If I had my druthers, I would rather go without the grip safety. I don't think it's necessary. Also, with the loaded chamber indicator, I don't feel it's necessary, but those are some differences, and they may mean something to you one way or the other. Ergonomics on these guns, again, a lot of the stuff comes down to what you feel as a person, and that is with the XD, I personally find this very ergonomically friendly. I like the ergonomics on this, and I like the ergonomics on the Glock. They are different, and some people I hear say they really don't like the ergos on the Glock. If you were to pin me down and say, what ergos do you like better? Well, I like the ergos on the XD better between those two. Yeah, you guys know I carry Glock, but I do like the ergonomics on this better. The grips, both these grips are pretty slick. There's not a lot of traction to them. You do have some stuff, a little checkering here, molded checkering up front. Also in the Glock, you can see, this is a Glock Gen 3 by the way. The has some finger grooves there, but these molded checkering, doesn't really do much, I don't think. And both of them are very similar in their grips. In fact, the 27 being my carry gun, I put some skateboard tape on there. I'm a big fan of aggressive grips. If this were my main carry gun, I would do the same. Let's talk about the trigger pull on both of these. Glock is going to be a little bit more crisp. I like the way the Glock trigger pulls. The XD, spongy at first a little bit, but then when it breaks, it's got a nice clean break and I like it. Different triggers, yes. Does that affect the way I shoot? Not really. In fact, I love shooting the XD and I love shooting the Glock. They both shoot fantastic, and really this is such a fun gun to shoot. And this one is as well. So to me it's kind of a toss-up. You know, a lot of guns just feel a little bit different with the trigger, and it's something to get used to. I don't think they're both the best triggers in the world, but they certainly are not the worst. I think for a stock gun, they're perfectly fine for me, both of them. One thing you'll see a big difference on is the option for accessories, or at least this type of accessory for the rail. The XD has that accessory option, which I like options, so I'll take that. The Glock in the subcompact Gen 3 does not. So there is no option to put any type of flashlight, at least on the rail of this. So something to think about there if you're looking at purchasing one or the other of these. Now, back straps seem to be kind of a big thing that a lot of the gun companies are pushing these days. You may like that, you may not. These two guns, neither of them have that. This is the Gen 3 though, remember. The Gen 4 on the Glocks do. This, with the XDM and the XDS series, they do come with back straps. But as far as these go, they do not. Gen 3, no, on the Glocks. Cost on these, generally speaking, they're going to be about the same. You're looking anywhere from $500 to $550 for each of these, kind of depending on where you go, but pretty comparable to these guns. Now, if you were to pin me down and ask me, okay, you can only have one of these two guns, which is it going to be? Honestly, I would probably pick the Glock. I have no big, profound reasons for doing so. I guess the Glock has been very proven to me as far as reliability, and for that matter, this XDS is also. I've had both of these guns for years, and that's one thing I should touch on is reliability. I have not had a problem with the Glock 27. I have not had a problem with the XD subcompact either. Both of these guns have been extremely reliable, and I think, you know, picking them for you, it's just going to come down to what you prefer, the Glock or the XD. They're both great guns. Like I said, if you pin me down, I'd probably have to go with the Glock. But I'm happy with both. I think they're both fantastic guns. To be a fan of one or the other, I think is ridiculous. The fact is, in my book, having shot both and having owned both for many years, they're both fantastic guns. I wouldn't hesitate recommending either one of those to anybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope this is going to be relatively quick, but just wanted to do a quick comparison between the XD subcompact and the little Glock subcompact. Baby Glock, whatever you want to call it. Thanks guys, we'll see you.